I'm sorry you've had the mic off.
Judicial Watch meeting. This is very important. I'm sorry. Wednesday, March 24th at 6:30. Judicial Watch group really needs people to come and participate. And on this Monday, before there's a Republican Women's Luncheon at the Convention Center, but prior to that, the Judicial Watch group will be meeting with Matt Arnold with Clear the Bench, Colorado. So at 11 o'clock at the Convention Center to meet with Matt Arnold. And I guess I did tell you about the Lincoln Day dinner. A lot of elected or candidates running will be there and be present tomorrow night. So hopefully you can come. Starts at 5:30. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. And for those of you that don't know, I do have a little radio show on Saturdays, KNZZ, KGLN, KNAM, and we're on from noon until 2. And I will have Walker Stapleton. He's going to be on my show. I think we're scheduled to have him on next week, so you can listen to that. And Sheriff Mack is also going to be on. Like that's what we're trying to do now, and so we can listen to that. If you haven't heard the show, if you're interested in balanced and informative and entertaining radio, you should listen somewhere else. But if you'd like to have sort of a stream of consciousness approach to things where we talk about politics, local and national, feel free to join us. That's noon on Saturdays, noon to 2. And we're having a lot of I'm trying to get a lot of people on that are running so you guys can hear a little bit of what they have to say. And, you know, we ask them kind of all sorts of things. So we'll try and get folks on I hope that you're interested in. Okay, let's see. We are going to have our little forum here. Here's some of the rules, and the rules are mainly that we're going to have questions. We have some questions that have been taken from questionnaires and things that people have put in from the past, and more generic ones that will be asked here. There's going to be a 3-minute opening statement. We'll let each one of the candidates do a 3-minute opening statement. As part of that, we'd like to ask them why they want the job. Then we'll have a psychological evaluation done, and then there'll be remember the MMPIs, the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventories. Yes, we'd like to see the results of that, and then we're going to ask questions that we have here, just a few of them. They'll have 2 minutes to answer. Each person will have 2 minutes to answer, and then as you know, they've gathered up a number of questions from you guys out on 3x5 cards, and they'll ask those questions. What I did last time, and I'm not asking questions this time, we're going to have Rose Puglisi here is going to ask them, is we tried to gather them up into groups, and then if there were 2 or 3 questions that were the same, we try and ask kind of a one question that tries to cover it as much as possible so we can get as many questions from you guys in as possible and have a minute to answer each one of those. And then there'll be a little summation, and by then you'll be tired of listening to everybody and want to go home, and we'll let you. All right? So we're going to, let's see, I have a note here, looks like contigs. So, contigs, everybody. I don't know, I can't read my handwriting. So to decide who goes first, we have a coin here that apparently I don't get to keep, so I'm going to flip it. And Bob, you call it.
Heads.
And it's tails. So Scott, you get your choice. You want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right. Okay, with that, you guys have your mics on there. And I will say one other thing, and I mentioned to Bob earlier, stay close to your microphones. These are made so that city council members can whisper about things so people can't hear it in the audience. So if you get very far away from them, that literally you will not be heard. And Ray last time, when we did the House District 54, I was sad to hear that some of his answers didn't come through well because he moved his head. And I know Ray's here, and so you just got to stay on top of those a little bit. Okay? All right.
Tell them how long they have for each question.
I did. Were you not listening?
Oh, sorry.
You pay exact attention. Oh, also, we'd ask everybody to kind of hold your applause a little bit so we keep the time periods down. And since Sandy Pizzo isn't here tonight, I'm going to designate Ruth Ellers as the Master of Arms. If you get out of line, she's going to remove you immediately. Okay? I tried to find the most intimidating person I could. All right.
Okay, Bob, do you want to start with your opening?
Okay, thank you. First, I want to thank everybody who participated in helping put together this event. Thank you so much. Are there any Patriots here in the audience? Yeah. Well, I'm Bob McConnell. I'm a retired Colonel Airborne Ranger. I graduated Ranger class at the top of my class, Top Gun, and I spent 4.5 years overseas. After that, I was one of 25 officers in the military selected for a full scholarship to law school. I finished my military career in the JAG Corps, and I am a recovering lawyer. I'm also a God-fearing, Constitution-carrying conservative Republican. I announced my campaign on September 16th. Since then, I've been endorsed by 2 Tea Party groups, the Southern Colorado Tea Party in Pueblo and the Grand Junction Results here. I am thrilled to be a part of this campaign. I am here to ask for your support tonight, not because I need a job. I don't. I'm not asking for your support because I want to go to Washington and win a popularity contest. I won't. I'm here to ask for your support because I am angry about what's happening to our country. I am angry about the fact that our Constitution, the greatest form of government in the history of man for protecting rights, is being trashed. I'm angry that our grandchildren are being spent into involuntary servitude by the irrational spending of our government. You know, we saw a great thing happen Friday. A man stood up in Washington, and when faced with the direction that he must vote for a $10 billion spending bill for federal unemployment insurance, he asked a very important question. He said, how will we pay for it? And they couldn't tell him, and he said, well, I'm not going to vote for that bill. That's a man of courage. That's the kind of man we need in Washington. In 1984, the Army sent me to Washington to testify before the House Armed Services Committee. I was in a beautiful 2-story wood-paneled, leather seat upholstered room, and I learned firsthand the arrogance of the people in Washington, the congressman who chaired that committee. I learned the importance of courage in dealing with the people I am going to debate with in Congress when I have people that disagree with me. I want to go to Congress and be your representative. I took an oath in 1996 for the first time. I took it every time I was promoted after that. I swore to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign or domestic. It's time to fight for our Constitution. I am here. Send me. Thank you.
Okay, Scott, we are opening.
Thank you, Rose, and thank you all for being here. My name is Scott Tipton, and I'm running for Congress. And before I begin, I'd like to introduce somebody who I haven't been able to see for about the last month, my wife, Jean Tipton, who drove up from Cortez to be here with us this evening. Jean's the love of my life, and I'll tell you, she is almost a candidate for sainthood. She's put up with me for 26 years, and so I love you and thank you for being here. Well, folks, I am running for Congress, and I think we need to get straight to it. What is the problem? Well, the problem is this: government is broken, and we will not fix it by sending the same people back. Let's take a look at our current representative, John Salazar. What has he done? He has voted to expand government, to grow government, to increase government employment. He has stood together with Nancy Pelosi. He voted for both stimulus packages. He voted to triple the national debt in less than 8.5 months. He got an absolute pass when it came to cap and trade, not going once to the microphone to stand up and to defend us. He voted to take over 1/6 of the U.S. economy in terms of government-run health care with Nancy Pelosi, another $1.2 to $2.7 trillion. And just a few weeks ago, by the way, I wish this on no one, but if you're going to die this year because there is no death tax this year, well, he voted to re-up the death tax. I submit to you that we have a congressman who's doing a wonderful job of representing Washington, D.C., but he forgot who he was sent there to represent and who we should, this is a man we must replace in Washington. The bottom line is, and you remember this, we've got some media here tonight, and you need to be able to write this down, because I've heard that John Salazar is a centrist. Well, I'm here to tell you that anybody that votes with Nancy Pelosi 97.3% of the time is no centrist. If that's an idea of a centrist, I'd sure hate to be able to see a liberal. We need to bring him home. And I'm going to be the person to do that. What we have to be is solutions-oriented. Why can't, when we're talking about government-run health care, buy across state lines? Why can't we incentivize private health care savings accounts? Why can't we take on tort reform? Why can't we make sure that we're creating jobs here at home rather than creating jobs in Washington, D.C.? We've got the solutions